Alright, we're back down here working on this International 464 tractor. I'm gonna go ahead and put the air filter in it. This air filter, I don't believe, is the right one. Don't believe that's been the right air filter. Maybe in. I took that out and cleaned everything back in there good the other day. Shouldn't be nothing left in there. There was a little bit of stuff that got right past the filter that I had to clean out. Alright, the filter housing to the outside measures 11 inches. The new filter measures 11 inches. The old filter measures 10.5, which there was some stuff I got around the old filter. So I don't think it was right exactly, but I can't get this new one to fit. It's got these little wire supports for the end of it. I don't know if they're holding it off. Something's hitting up in there. I don't know if y'all can see back in there what I'm talking about, but I think that little wire support right there is in the way. I'm gonna have to try to. One end of it's broke off. I'm gonna have to try to bend it around and get to where I can get the filter in somehow. Alright. I think I got it now. Whoop. Gotta find my slot for my latch to latch in. Alright. And that flips around there and puts pressure on it and holds it in. I think I'll take me a zip tie and tie that just so it can't vibrate loose. This one was too short. It was about a 1/2 inch too short, and it had let some stuff come around the end of it, which is not good at all. Now, we'll change the engine oil. And it's got a plug, it's got a 1/2 inch insert for a ratchet, which I like that style plug. Got oil all over my gloves. Should have had something else on. Go ahead and pull the dipstick out and let it be draining. Slide that pan over just a little. Now we'll let her drain. Now, we'll go ahead and put a little oil in the filter. You don't have to get it plumb full. That's pretty good. Now we'll take a little clean oil, put on our gasket, which y'all know how to do this, I'm sure, most of you. I like watching maintenance videos though, because everybody does things a little different. Some's more particular than others, and things I just kind of, just something I enjoy to watch. Clean off around that dipstick tube. All right, we'll get our drain plug popped back in and be ready to put some motor oil back in it. In the book, it says to use SAE 30 motor oil, so that's what I'm using instead of my usual 1540. I believe that it says, I think it says it calls for 8 quarts with the filter change, so I'll pour what's left of that quart in there, and I'll put 6 more in it, which will make 7, and we'll check it from there. All right, 7 quarts. Let's check it. It looks good. Let me crank it up and let the filter fill up the rest of the way and see what it says. This tractor, mind you, they have to be in neutral. This one, you have to have your clutch pushed in. So we'll let it run here just a little and turn it off, let the oil drain down, and check it again, top it off if it needs to be topped off. It was showing a quart low after I cranked it, so I'll throw one more in there, double check it, and it should be good shape. This Napa oil is Valvoline, in case anybody's wondering. I didn't know that myself until I looked at it. Right on the money. All right, while the hydraulic oil draining the rest of the way, we'll jerk this hydraulic filter out of there. It's a cartridge style filter. And a lot of that junk you're seeing was just up on top of the housing, wasn't in the filter. But I'm gonna have to clean all that out good now. And you got a little O-ring here. Get that popped out of there. Now this is the old filter here. And it's got your canister and this little screen. I guess this works as a like a pressure relief. I don't know, it's got a spring in it. If to where the oil can bypass if the filter gets stopped up. Not real sure. But I would assume that's kind of what it does. So we'll get that cleaned up. And this is the part I hate the most, usually, about this style filter. Just trying to get these O-rings in there and get them to stay. Let's hope this one is friendly. I was having trouble getting my bolt through the back of the housing. With the O-ring on it. And it came with 2 O-rings. Now I looked and there are 2 different size O-rings. So this one, I don't know why it's spinning that, because it's just spinning the... This one uses the smaller O-ring. Oop, slipped off. And that shouldn't have to be terribly tight. It wasn't too tight when I took it off. Inch and a 1/16. This thing was pretty low on hydraulic oil. It wasn't even touching the dipstick. Shows it holding 8 gallons. I believe it was. Of hydraulic oil. So we'll get the thing up here. Try to. right, we'll let that drain down and check it again. End up probably taking a little over 6 gallons. Hard to tell on these buckets. I had to pour some out of this, and I don't know exactly how much. So, and you're not going to get everything drained out because this uses the hydraulic for the power steering, hydraulic powered brakes, and that type of thing. So, you're not going to get every bit of the fluid drained out of it. I took this cover off right here and lubricated all the shifter linkages and things back in there with some PB Blaster. I'll get this cover put back on and go do the other side with the 3-point link. Now what we did here, there's a linkage back in here that this 3-point lever hooks to, and what he'd complained about was when he would use the 3-point lever, it wouldn't stay in one spot without using the stop. Like you can pull it up right there and the handle will fall right back down. So I just tightened the nut up back here a little bit where that linkage hinges, and that seems to work fine. Seems to work fine. So we'll get this cover put back on. So we got this side bled off, and waiting on the other side to fill up now. Just gravity feeding. Gravity feeding into them. And that one there has bled itself out now. You gotta be careful not to break them little bolts off. You always want to bleed. If you got more than one filter, bleed it at each bleeder screw, and that'll assure you're getting air out of it. Some dual filter housings might just have one bleeder screw, but if you got a bleeder screw on each filter housing, bleed them. Now, hopefully we ain't gonna have no leak. That's what I don't like about these filters. Too easy to leak. So good. Well, I worked about 10:45 last night on that tractor. Come down here this evening. I'm going to take it back to him. Had a few little drips under the fuel filters. They're a pain to get sealed up. So I took them back loose and worked on them a little bit. Hopefully they'll be okay. If not, I'll put another set on it for him. I'll just run over there one day it's halfway decent and put a set on it if it leaks. Where I had these a while. I don't know if the gaskets had hardened a little or what, but they're tough to get sealed up anyways, I think. Supposed to turn off really cold tomorrow, well, all weekend, and chance of pretty good snow and things, so I'd like to get it back over there to him. Tractor's running good. We'll get it chained down here. Here and get the manual out of the house and should be ready to roll. Well, we're cruising along over through here, headed to Clintwood. About to get dark on us. Tried calling him when I left, didn't get nobody. I told him what I was going to do with the tractor. If he wasn't home, hopefully he'll get home and get my message and be able to meet me up there. I can't get up to where the house is easy. But we'll get over and drop it off one way or another. This old truck's got a good heater in it, that's for sure. Got a good heater. I just hope them fuel filters don't give him any trouble. I don't worry about them. I always hate changing them, that style filter. They're tough. They're getting to where they don't leak. Or they are for me, they may not be for everybody. But I'll catch back with you later.